everybody, today we're going to be learning to make single batch kombucha raspberry lemon ginger flavor. You'll start off with a large glass container. This one is 2 gallons. You'll also need 2 cups of sugar, 4 green tea bags, and 12 black tea bags. I use organic whenever at all possible, but you probably don't absolutely have to. So I went ahead and brewed up a batch last night of tea, and that is here today. You can see how dark it is because I have let it steep all night long, and it's just right. So that is ready for today. So what I'll start off by doing is just pouring that combination into this large container. Again, it's very important that it's room temperature to not cause damage to the SCOBY. And what is a SCOBY, you might ask? It's a symbiotic culture of yeast and bacteria, and that is what eats the sugar out of the sweet tea, and it ferments and makes kombucha. So first I pour this in here. This is really, really concentrated because it's in a smaller container. So I will be adding water to it. When cleaning your jar, you always want to be sure you have thoroughly rinsed any type of soap so that it doesn't damage your SCOBY. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but you never want to have anything metal on there, like the spout is plastic. You don't have to have a spout. I do not use mine because I just think it might get gunky in there if I try to. I'm going to fill this most of the way up because I'm going to be using some starter liquid for my previous batch. This is about room temperature water that I'm putting in as well. Okay. Then I'm going to wash my hands again so that I can take the SCOBY out of my other container here. This is if you can see it. This is the batch I've had going for about 10 days. In my house, 10 days seems to be just about the perfect amount of time. That varies if your house is warmer or colder, of course, and the warmer it is, the faster that it is going to ferment. And you see here, it's going to make a new SCOBY every week, just about. You can see I have different layers. This one's pretty healthy and has been growing for quite a while. I usually give these away to people who are wanting to start to make them. So I simply take the SCOBY and place it on top. But I think first I'm going to add some of my starter liquid here. They say you're supposed to use about 2 cups, and I've done it enough times to just kind of guesstimate it. Okay. So I take the SCOBY, I place it right on top, just like that. Then I'm going to cover it with a towel, and I like to seal it with this hairband to prevent any kind of fruit flies or gnats or anything trying to get to it, because they will in the warmer weather try to. So then I'm going to put that on to the side. So that's going to actually sit on my counter for about 10 days, okay? So then we're going to pretend that that has been 10 days, fast forward. And for the flavoring, I use a bag of raspberries, right at Walmart, a tube of ginger paste, and some lemon juice. Fresh lemon is better, but I just don't happen to have any at the moment. So what I do is I puree all of this together. I put this entire bag which is 12 ounces. This 4-ounce tube of ginger paste from the produce section at Walmart. And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I puree all of that up. It should also be room temperature. And the result, when it's done blending, is just liquefied. Then I take my glass jars. It's important that you have glass jars and that they do not have metal lids. I just use old kombucha jars of kombucha that I've already drank in the past. And they have to have their plastic lids. So I put about 2 tablespoons per jar. Spilt a little there. And then I just do that for every jar. This usually yields about 14 jars. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me do all of every single one of these jars. I just wanted to give you the general idea. Okay, so let's pretend I have all those jars filled up with 2 tablespoons of my puree. Then I take the kombucha, which has been brewed about 10 days, remember? And the way to figure that out, what's right for your house, is right about 9 days, 8 to 9 days, I would just taste it. And the very first day that it doesn't have any sweetness at all and has some carbonation, that means it's fermented. I like to go usually about 10. You will see some strange little dangly things coming off your SCOBY. Don't be alarmed, that is just yeast forming, and you will see some foamy white bubbles on the edge as well. Again, that just is part of the yeast in the fermentation process, and it really just means that it's healthy. So what I choose to do, just to make it easier to pour, is put it in this big container, this big measuring cup first, and it's silicone, so it very easily molds into my hands. And then I'm gonna fill each bottle that already has the flavoring in it, right about to where there's about 1.5 inches or so of head space. This is going to expand. Sometimes you'll even feel the lid get a little rounded on top because of the pressure. So right about, almost right to where it's starting to get an angle on it, a little curved spot. I leave it right there. And then I put the lid on. And I don't shake it, but I just gently kind of tilt it back and forth. Once that's done, I'm going to leave this on the counter for about 3 more days. That's the second fermentation. After that, I put it in the refrigerator and drink it. It's that simple. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. I will also attach the link that I use the most from Wellness Mama. And she has the measurements in there. She's a pro, much more of a pro than I will ever be. And I think she also goes over how to make just continuous brew, where you are continuously using the same one and then just adding to it. I have never tried that yet. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoy your booch. Thanks a bunch. Bye.